What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chop Toys. I've got two very different versions of a similar truck. It's going to talk about how to spot originals, how to tell if one's been repainted. Usually you can tell. People that repainted them back in the 80s and 90s did not take precautions like disassembly or tire removal, stuff like that. So, yeah. Let's start looking at this tan one here real quick. So this is a 58. I believe it's a dump truck. I'm not for sure. I don't recall a tan anything other than a pickup, but I don't recall it in 58. It could be a 59. There was no grill or bumper with this. I don't remember if these are the original tires and axles that it had, or they're just some that I threw on there at some point. This is typically how I like to buy the trucks. I mean, the body is straight as an arrow. Lots of pitting and chipping and stuff like that. Look around the front here, very minimal distortion where the frame rails come through, and one sign of an original paint job, if you bend these tabs out, that paint will crack. So this has never been off. This one's pushed a little further than this one, but the paint is not cracked, so it leads us to believe that this is originally on the truck. You can see where the frame rail is pushed through the body. That can easily be hammered back flat once the body's off and all that, but just that's one little tip. This base edge here is nice and straight, just a little bit of bow in the center. I'm guessing most of the damage occurred to the grill and the bumper that were on it originally. Again, the windshield is intact, has a giant crack in it and a good scratch, but it's still there, and the pillars are perfectly straight, and the roof line and everything looks good. So I just realized what truck this is. This was a farm truck. They did have a tan farm truck, I believe, in 58. You could tell where the stuff on the bed, the rust is formed on the frame where the bed was mounted, where it's pulled tight, where the rust kind of built up. That the same mounting points for the stake bed. This one I probably won't ever repaint. Both stickers are in excellent condition. And they're not bad. It's not rusting through. This stuff was very durable. Even these larger chips on the roof, really not that bad. There's nothing up here is endangering the integrity of the metal. It's just surface rust. It's large sections of it, but it's not actually eating into the metal. I mean, it is technically because it's rust, but it's not pitting the metal as of yet. So maybe another 50 years we'll worry about it. But yeah, this is how I usually like to find them. And these trucks in this condition, I mean, the frame's straight, the body's very straight, stickers are good. You can pick those up, and missing grill and bumper, headlights, and even a windshield for 20, 25 bucks. I wouldn't pay much more than that for it. You get out at flea markets and trade days and stuff, and people have something in this condition, they're asking 60 or 70 bucks. It's really not worth it, unless it just strikes you a certain way. I do that sometimes. I'll find a piece, and it'll just, something about the patina, the original finish of it, and it just flips a switch in my brain. I'm like, I really should have that. And then I'll pay a little more for stuff. But typically I consider this a builder truck. This would be something I would tear apart, and I might throw this cab on a pickup bed frame, make a short bed, kind of rat rod, lower it. I probably wouldn't hack this frame. That's another kind of guideline I have for hacking toys. This chassis has, it's very straight. The fenders or the steps and everything are really nice, but B, the axle holes in the frame have absolutely no wear. They're not elongated at all. They're all perfectly round. The little rolled in edge is perfect. So that would be a chassis I would save for a tractor or a dump truck or a farm truck build or something, even a tow truck build. It's nice and straight, no issues. So yeah, but the cab I would probably, just because it's got a good patina, original stickers, that would be a nice short bed pickup. But anyway, talking about trucks that strike you in a certain way, let's talk about our 58 dump truck in the background. So I picked this up from a online place that I'm going to not mention because it's kind of a secret honey hole for old trucks. I find several there. This truck is probably a C9 condition, I would say. It's very, very close to perfect for the age. If you remember back a couple videos ago, I was talking about in restorations how the dump beds are notoriously bad for rusting from within. All of these pieces, like these side panels, are flat and they fold up and lock together. That's how they're made. So all this stuff is unpainted on the inside. They don't paint it until it was folded up. So you can see there's a lot of dust, but there is a little bit of rust around the edges of the bed. Just very little. A couple little spots here and there and stuff like that. But I got this truck online for, if I remember, I've had it for about 5-6 years now. Actually about 8 years. Time's flying. I'm getting old. I think I paid $89 for this. 85, 89, somewhere under $100. And I would value this truck at closer to $200 in the condition it's in. So let's start at the front and work our way around. Looking at it pretty dead on from the front, one reason dump trucks aren't easily restored, they usually are very worn because A, they were played with sandboxes outside, dirt, gravel, mud, rocks, kids standing in the dump bed dumping each other out, you know. So you can grab this and pick it up and you can see how much flex there is in that chassis. It'll do the same thing the other way. But that's why the chassis are bent and tweaked and stuff like that on these. So this one, it has its fair share of flex, but it's still very straight. The finish on the cab is spectacular. It's just got that look, that dull, but it's still smooth. There's a few little nicks and scrapes and stuff, but there is not a dent on this cab. The bumper, it's got a slight little bit of tarnish on it, the grill, but again, not a dent. The headlights are still smooth to the touch, and they're not even really hazy at all. They're almost perfect. One little telltale sign, I'll tell you about the windshield real quick. Windshield is just got a few little rub marks. It could probably be buffed out if I took it apart, but one little telltale sign of an original paint Tonka, the vents here in the front, they have paint over them. And you can see it's kind of broken through and stuff. Most little kids, I guess, didn't think to poke sticks through there or toothpicks or something to knock the paint out. But a lot of original Tonkas had that. They just, I guess, I don't know if they sprayed these very thick, if it was an assembly line, how it worked, and it was, they were just going to town or they dipped them or what, because they do have some paint on the inside. That's one little indicator that you've got an original finish on your truck. Nothing up here is perfectly flat, perfectly smooth. Just a really nice piece. This could be buffed out with a Scotch-Brite and some polish in 5 minutes and be probably shinier than it was originally. We've got our dump lever. This is the manual one. Now they did offer a hydraulic dump truck, and those are usually even worse shape. I don't think I've got any pictures. I have a couple somewhere, but they're so far gone, rust-wise, that you really couldn't tell the color. They were a bronze color, and that paint did not stick at all. Over the course of 60, 70 years, the paint is all but gone on them. Finding an original bronze hydraulic dump truck in good shape, a little harder than to find one of these. And you would be very hard pressed. The best one of those won't be this nice, I bet. The hydraulic cylinder on those runs and locks into the back of the cab. All the cabs have a little notch in it, and they use some kind of I guess it was brass cylinder with a spring inside, and it usually had a lot of force, and over time of forcing it shut, it would bend the back of the cab or crack the back of the cab and stuff like that. But this is the manual dump truck. It's just got a galvanized rod. I don't know if it tarnished. I don't know if they were really shiny originally. The tab that holds the cab on this one has got a little play in it. You can see this hubcap's probably the most tarnished of all of them, but tires and stuff are an excellent. Very little slop in them. It rolls quietly, which is impressive. The other lever here locks the gate. So we'll flip that down. Now the gate can open. So you just bring that down, shut your gate, lock it, boom. Oh, there we go. But looking back here in the bed, there's a few dents and dings. These are welds, spot welds. You can see those dimples where this piece was folded together and that piece on the bottom was spot welded to it. And overall, just a little dusty. A few scratches. I mean, this thing never actually hauled gravel like I would have done with mine when I was a little kid. Liftgate, Tonka toys embossed in it. Really nice. The only problem with this truck is back here. This one hubcap is trying to come out, or somebody tried to take it out, and it's been that way for so long that the wheel or the tire has hardened and there is no getting it back in. These tires were originally pretty supple rubber, and over time they just become bricks. They haven't really gotten super brittle unless they were out in the sun for a long time, but if you try to, because there's a lip that these snap in under, and the tire has to be soft for that to work. There are some tricks to do that if you're restoring. There's a process that I came up with long ago that was damn near a whole bottle of Armor All and soaking and washing and warm water and Armor All, and there's a big long process to try to save a set of tires. But it can be done. I think these still, I would be afraid to do it because it'll crack right there along that lip and it'll just come out. And then you can get your hubcap in, but then you'll have missing rubber around the edge of it, and it just don't look that cool. But yeah, the sticker on this side is excellent. Again, perfectly straight body. I'll show you underneath here. Look at that paint underneath this thing. Let me see if I can get the light in there a little better. Just phenomenal condition. Just excellent. And I don't remember if this had any dents in the bumper. I don't think, as straight as that is, I don't think I fixed that. That's better than I could do. It's a really nice truck, and I got it for a steal. I think I was broke as a joke when this came along, and I did bad things to pay for it because it was such a good deal and worth having for the collection. The paint on the bottom is almost as nice as what's on top. Looks pretty dang cool. Yeah, this is another shelf warmer. Again, just one of my nice original pieces that I have in my collection on display in my living room. But I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more to come. More chopped toys, hopefully. See you on the next video.